Working with a theme is always a good idea when you do a painting or a concept or anything like that. It makes things easier, more straightforward. You have kind of like an overarching vision for the entire thing, the entire project, and that saves you time. So what we're going to be doing today is I'll be using a theme of water lilies. So everything that I do will kind of be inspired by that. And let's get started. Okay, so we're starting with this. Just a simple sketch. And what we'll be doing is just pasting a random image off of the interwebs. And something like that. So a pond with some water lilies in them. Obviously the perspective is a little bit off. I want to try to adjust that. So maybe something like this. Yeah, that's probably good. Alright, so yeah, let's start from this. Now this is what we have. As you can see, the image that I use, the photo that I used initially, is pretty much gone at this point. And the goal is not to keep it. The goal is just so that it's just to have something on canvas to start from. So it could have been like a bunch of random brush strokes, something like that. I'm pretty happy with what I have so far. As you can see, this took basically no time. It's very, very rough still. But that is where you want to get, and when I get to this point and I like what I see, that's normally a good sign. And with this one, I'm kind of feeling it, so let's keep going. With a painting like this, there are actually a couple things that I try to keep in mind, and that actually reuse a couple cheats, I guess, to keep interest in the painting. And that has to do with contrast, but it's not the kind of contrast that I talked previously about. So it's not contrast in values and that kind of stuff. It's contrast in materials. So things that are really interesting for the eyes to look at are things that are opaque and transparent, for example, combined, or like, you know, those two elements in the same image. And you can do that for pretty much for a lot of things. So it can be dry and wet. It can be reflective and non-reflective. It can be hot and cold. Hard surface versus soft surface, like metal and skin, metal and cloth. All those things really, really useful when you're painting something. It adds a lot of interest to the image. It's just something that the brain enjoys more, as opposed to everything like you know, metallic and nothing else, or everything kind of soft. When you have those contrasts, those you know, different things kind of combined together, and you try and you make it work somehow, that is always a good idea. So looking at this image, for example, what I have here is opaque material, kind of like matte looking materials, like, you know, like plants and the character itself, versus something that is liquid, transparent, well, not translucent and reflective. So a big contrast between two different types of materials, and by just having that, already the image is a little bit more interesting. It's a very powerful tool to use, and you see where this is going. The more kind of different materials you can have in the same scene, the more interest you generate, and there's kind of like a thing where there's never too much. So if you can balance a lot of different materials in one scene, that is awesome. And you know, for example, for this thing, I could easily add a bunch of much harder surfaces to contrast everything that's kind of organic and soft in the scene. So let's say, you know, having like rocks, or maybe having metallic parts. So have her be part metallic, part robot. I don't know. You know, it's an easy way to do it, but the more of these kind of contrasts that you can layer on top of each other, the better, basically. So let's keep going. So it's in a pretty good spot right now, I think. What I'm gonna do is sleep on it because it's getting pretty late and I need to sleep. So I'll work on it tomorrow, probably finish it. And anyways, you guys should see it. Should see the full speed paint on Wednesday, so don't miss that out. I'll be, like finishing this whole thing up, adding a lot of polish, and hopefully make it look pretty cool. At least that is the plan. And one thing I wanted to do also is do really quick Q&A. So I've had a few questions about what these are. So and where to get these guys. You can get these at anatomytools.com. I think that's the website. I'm not promoting this or anything. I don't make any money if you guys buy it or not. I don't care. But they are pretty cool. A little bit on the expensive side. There are other alternatives that you can find, but what's cool with these is that you can kind of like remove the arms and look at them in like different angles. And the female one, same deal. You get her at the same spot. I think they are upwards of $200 each. This one I got. I think it was the first batch that they made for the female. That was back in 2009, I think, maybe 2010. And they only had this one, the version where you can split in half. I don't even know if they make those anymore because it's kind of useless. But yeah, that was my only option basically, and I really wanted the female one, so that's what I got. Yeah, really good models. Recommend them. The anatomy is pretty spot on. Yeah, people keep asking, so there you go. anatomytools.com. Another question that I've been getting is, in how many sittings do I generally do my paintings? Well, as you can see in this one, this is not complete, so I'll finish it up tomorrow. So for this one, it's going to be 2, but it's 1 or 2 basically. So I never go beyond that. If it's going to be 3 sittings, it's just that I'm like fooling around too much, or I'm like redoing things too much. It shouldn't take this long. Normally I give myself like 8 hours max for a painting. After past 8 hours, I'm just like, it's a waste of time at this point. Anything more than that, I feel like it's whatever I'm adding to the painting beyond that point is not worth it. It's not worth the time. The last thing, I guess people want to know if I have like some favorite books or like art books that I recommend, and I actually do. I spent quite a while putting together a list that you can find right here. Those are all my favorite books. So all the books that I've kind of collected over the years that have brought me a lot. So those are all the books that I recommend. Again, I'm not making money on this. It's just my favorite, my personal selection. So if you want to check that out, it's right here again. If you think people can benefit from this list, share it around. That's why I made it. So, alright, that's it for today. I'll see you guys next time.
You want to reclaim your mind.